Welcome to the HR Chat podcast, bringing the best of the HR, talent, and leadership communities to you. For more episodes and the latest articles covering what's new in the world of work, visit hrgazette.com. Subscribe and follow us on social media.
Welcome to another episode of the HR Chat Show. I'm your host today, Bill Bannum, and I'm joined today by Fadzlun Sapandi, EVP Global Human Resources at DHL Express. Listen as we discuss the story of leaders and employees at DHL during the pandemic and ways that the company is striving to engage its 100,000 plus employee base over the coming years. Based in the Cologne-Bonn region of Germany, Fadzlun has been with DHL for 18 plus years and held various leadership roles with the purpose of connecting people, improving lives, to create a better workplace for all. I love that mission. Throughout her career, she has demonstrated the ability to reinvent herself, starting in customer service and currently, of course, leading the global HR charge for DHL Express. Being part of an international company, Fadzlun has gained a breadth of international experience across the Americas, Asia, and Europe. And she strives for an outstanding employee experience for the whole of the team. Fadzlun, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the show today.
Thank you very much, Bill, and it's great to be here.
Why don't you start by telling our listeners all about yourself beyond my reintroduction there? So tell them about yourself, your role at DHL, and maybe what a typical work week looks like for you.
Well, Bill, first and foremost, you pronounced my name just right. I'm Fadzlun Sapandi, but to make it easier for you, you can call me Faz for short. So that will be easy. Yeah, my role in DHL Express and Executive Vice President of our HR is really to develop and execute our people strategy in, like you mentioned, making this great company even better by being a great place to work for all. So that's really my role in DHL as a broad sense. And what does a typical week look like for me? That's interesting. I'm originally from Singapore, but I work in Germany in the beautiful Bonn area near Cologne. When I'm here in Bonn, it's meeting with my global team, which is located here, and collaborating with our HR board on a group level, cross-divisionally, on the strategy to take us forward, what are the hot topics that are on, and what are the things. And when I say that, a typical week could also look like me being on the road with our regional and country teams. And we are present everywhere in the world. And me being out there listening and engaging with our people looks like a typical week for me as well, as part of my role is to be traveling and be close to our people in the region and in the country. An exciting week, I would say.
I'd say so too. Gosh, you sound like a pretty busy person. Well done. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the culture of DHL. Let's get to know a bit more about DHL. It's a very well-known brand around the world, of course, but perhaps not a lot of people know what goes on inside DHL to make the magic happen. Talk to us a bit then about the company culture and specifically how important is purpose to the business?
Yeah, culture and purpose is a reflection of us as a company. Really, I think it's so important as it's our common DNA that defines the factor on how we react, we respond, and we grow together. Our purpose in DHL is connecting people, improving lives. And this is the reason we do what we do. So as you know, we take a package from A to B, but it's just not taking a package. So if I was to say, during the pandemic, we moved the vaccine from one country to another, and that's exactly it. Improving lives and saving lives and connecting people through that journey of, the logistics industry. For me, the sense of, the community and purpose is at the heart of our business. And how we translate that internally in DHL, apart from the logistics, part of our core business is going through and beyond helping our social responsibility, contributing it back to the community with our programs like Go Help, Go Teach, and as well as our DHL Got Heart, bringing positive change where it's needed. I think, this is part of the culture that we embed in, not only that, from a logistic transportation, what goes beyond that, and why the reason we do what we do today. And we are really proud to make a contribution from our roles and beyond for our community. And really, it's our people that connect us together and make this company a great place to work for all. And it's the culture, the purpose that brings us all together.
And the proof is in the pudding, listeners, okay? So we're not just saying this stuff. In fact, I believe that DHL was ranked number one in number one in the global Great Places to Work League table, which is well, that's probably the best number that you can hope for, I'd imagine. How did you achieve it? What's the secret sauce? What's the secret to your success? Just elaborate a little bit on what you said a moment ago in terms of, why do you guys stand out amongst all of these other awesome employer brands?
Yeah, we are very, very, very proud, Bill, and thank you for that recognition. It's through hard work, and we plan for it. We work towards that goal on being number one. Our ranking in World's Best Place League table spun out over a period of 10 years, really. We've been working towards that. And it's that continuous improvement and investment in our people. So we advance, from place to place. So if I were to say, back in 2017, if I recall, we were at number 8, and a couple of years later, and here we are, number 1. So for well over 10 years, we worked very hard at it, putting people first, our business strategy. We maintained that approach even during the most challenging time. We persevered. It is about making sure what we do and the environment that we're in is creating a place where people can thrive, grow, and they feel valued with us. So it is that made us number one, and we're very proud of that achievement. And it is the achievement of our people. I say it is the award, the recognition given to our people for our people, and that is really the proof in the pudding, as in when you eat it. When our people come into the office as their first day of work, for example, we really want them to feel as they walk in, this is a great place to work, because they have their supervisor or their leader greeting them, welcoming them, making them feel valued as the first day of work, and their contribution going on. So, it's things like that we work on throughout the years, and it got where we are today. And we're working very hard to still keep it, because, once you're at the top, that is the biggest challenge, to retain it. And, continuous improvement and investment of our people to continue to do that is what we do best.
It must be rather nice to be able to say, once you're at the top, Bill, the challenge is to stay there, stay at the top. Okay, so you guys have got to the top. You're an awesome employer. Congratulations. But it's not been an easy few years, of course. And I'd imagine in your industry, there was a lot of growth in many ways as people were sitting at home and getting more things delivered, but also lots of challenges in terms of being able to attract folk to join the team in the midst of a pandemic, certainly. Talk to me now a little bit about some of those challenges, but also some of the opportunities that the crisis created for the HR department and the leadership teams over at DHL.
Yeah, indeed. The pandemic is one that we acknowledged that has been really challenging. You wouldn't go to look at a role to say, hey, does anybody, any of our leadership team have an experience in managing a pandemic, right? So it's just right out there. But we put our concerns, our people first mindset on. We acknowledge that most of our people concerns were about their safety, which is their number one. So what we did at that point, the challenge is to ramp up on our communication, to drive transparency, and ensure that no one of us felt alone. that challenge in itself, making them feel secure, sending them, to work from home, work in a safe environment. And we also found at the same time opportunities, innovative ways to keep our DHL team feeling stronger than ever. We found, new ways of communicating, new ways of engaging. And I must say that, during the crisis, during these challenges, motivation from our teams and commitment from them reached really new heights from our business purpose. You can imagine how proud our team and our people on the field feels when they know that we're contributing, to the pandemic by delivering vaccines. And our frontline people are the real life heroes out there delivering those, and that really make them feel proud, not only right down from our delivery courier guys, but through our back office, those people that are supporting it. That's how we in HR use that, leverage that communication to drive that transparency so that, people are aware on what we do. And as well as, in addition to that, I think the engagement activities is a tough one. We are so used as a culture of this touchy, nice being together in one big family, and suddenly we get into an environment where we have to implement that safety measures like social distancing, ensuring that our facilities and our vehicles are equipped with all the protective equipment. That wasn't easy for us. So, but what we did do is that it also created for us an opportunity to think about, okay, how do we adapt it? How do we take advantage of the technologies? So we adapted the way we deliver. We did contact-free deliveries, like most company. We did that as well. We reduced that risk for our people, for our customers, and we have, social engagement activities, and that's where we have the Zoom parties going on to make sure that, whilst we are social distancing, doesn't mean that we are customer distancing or people distancing in that sense. So we really kept connected throughout this whole period. And also that, I think, one other thing that I would mention is, during this time, we also make an extensive investment in our initiative to create an environment where people find themselves juggling between childcare and, being working from home, children at all ages, or, pets, etc. So we actually created a family pack kind of activity, an investment in that sense. We have technology to help us there. So there is something for everyone that we've used to leverage, this challenging period, and we turn it into a positive one. So I would say that, it is both, on one hand, it is tough for us to be in, both mentally, physically, as well as, those who are impacted throughout the COVID. But, on the other hand, we leverage that on opportunities, on finding new ways of connecting, new technologies, new investment to unify our people even more, which strengthen our culture.
So as we mentioned a little while ago, the proof is in the pudding, and that pudding tastes good, and you guys are number one. So it's probably pretty easy for you to get buy-in, I'd imagine, from the leadership team when you want to make little tweaks here and there to keep folk engaged, to keep them productive, maybe even make them more productive, more cohesive. Can you maybe now talk to me a little bit about what that process looks like in terms of making those recommendations for those ongoing tweaks, how you measure those initiatives so that that they are working and they are making a difference, or if they're not making the sort of difference that you'd hoped for, how you're able then to be fairly agile for a huge company and change things around a bit.
Definitely, I think, we have that mindset and that culture that we've been working towards before even, like I mentioned, the past 10 years, we've been working really hard in putting that strategy in there. So we have a culture of open feedback and communication between our people and our leadership team. Our people, we do have a program what we call the campfire. So it is basically our people putting in fresh new ideas on the ground, hearing directly from the customers or the experience that they have gone through on the field. And it is putting it and embracing that feedback and insight to what we use to innovate ourselves with new ideas and suggestions to drive our business forward. So our gauge to this is really our employee engagement. Our gauge is our customer satisfaction index that proves that, hey, we are on the right track and our business is doing well. So I think, these are the things that we continuously do to make tweaks on our processes, to make tweaks on our system, to make tweaks on even right down to our engagement program. So one of the engagement program that we basically embark on is, having being an inclusive employer. Like you mentioned, Bill, it's an international workforce, it's complex, and we thrive on those diverse perspectives and experiences. That really drive innovation and that really drives, improvement. One of the programs that we launch as a consequence of that is a DHL for All program. That means it's a DHL for all, regardless of your background, regardless of where you come from, is being treated equally, being empowered and supported to succeed. And that I would say is two recipes that we continuously work on, continuously cook on to strengthen us as one team. So it is, getting the campfire burning and going through innovative ideas, and then having an inclusive program for all where our employees feel valued and empowered to, give us that feedback for ongoing improvement from our customers.
Beyond what you've shared so far, are there any other examples of initiatives that you've led in the past couple of years that you believe have shown themselves to lead to higher employee productivity? Do you want to do a couple of shout outs to programs that you and the team are particularly proud of?
Yeah, I think the productivity, when we talk about, from a HR perspective, productivity is about the HR value contribution program. So every initiative that we do, we think about, okay, what is the value? What's the benefit? What's the purpose? And with that, just the thinking and the method that we put into creating that value contribution is what we're very proud of, is the productivity of, whether is it a process improvement, a first choice method through the Six Sigma model is what we look at. And its productivity spans out in different forms, the hard numbers as well as the softer ones. So softer ones are programs like what we call the Smart Connect app. So it's just like, one of the WhatsApp type of app that we have internally, where we connect news, information, and rather than people spending hours trying to find where is their payslip or, finding or putting in their vacation request in, we have this app all in one where, with a click of button, they can either look at their payslip, they can put in their vacation request or book a meeting room or read the news of the company. That actually also improves the individual productivity so that they can spend, more time on, doing other of their stuff and making their lives easier.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. We are already coming towards the end of this interview. Oh, what, Bill? I'm having such a good time. I could do this all day. I know, but unfortunately we are. But two more questions for you before we do wrap up. Next one, a bit of a challenge for you. You're a successful senior HR leader at a large organization. So our listeners will want to hear what you've got to say and the recommendations that you offer in this chat today. So the next question is, in 60 seconds or less, what would be the one best piece of advice that you could offer to other HR leaders listening today who are looking for new ways to grow productivity, to grow engagement within their workplaces?
So in less than 60 seconds, Bill, all I would say to our leaders listening in is make the place that you work in a great place to work for all by providing an environment that people can thrive in through training and make them feel heard, valued, and have a sense of belonging. You achieve all that, you'll achieve greater productivity and growth within your organization. In simplicity, wishing you all the best of luck.
I love it. You managed to get a bit of wishing best of luck within a 60-second period. Fantastic. Okay, and just finally for today, how can our listeners connect with you personally? So maybe you want to share your email address, or perhaps direct them towards LinkedIn. Maybe you're really cool and you're all over Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok and such. And also, how can they learn more about all the fabulous things happening over at DHL?
Yeah, so you can always reach me, fadzlun.sapandi@dhl.com, or I'm also an Insta person, but not very good at it. It's still the same name at fadzlun.sapandi, or just visit our website. Our DHL specialists will be happy to help you and open up, a session of a networking together with you.
Perfect. Well, that just leaves me to say for today, Fadzlun Sapandi, thank you so much for being my guest on this episode of the HR Chat Show.
Thank you very much, Bill, for the opportunity. It's nice talking to you. Bye.
And listeners, as always, until next time, happy working.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the HR Chat podcast. There are hundreds of conversations with business experts available for free on the HR Gazette website, Apple, Spotify, and all the main platforms. And remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media.